So apparently the New Orleans Saints are playing with salary cap turned off or something. I mean, no, they're still in a bit of a bind, to say the least. They're still $58 million under the cap. They are going to have to make some moves, make some cuts. Janoris Jenkins, Quan Alexander, Emmanuel Sanders are all guys that could end up getting cut, among with plenty others, because they have some money to have to make. They're going to have to make some restructures, probably on Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk, I would assume. Even that might not be enough. There might have to be a surprise cut here or there to really make this work. And on top of all of this, they only have $54 million ready for next year, despite the fact that they still have a ton of people they're going to have to sign, so just to fill up a roster. So they can't push too much down the road. But then again, that's kind of what they like to do. And the mindset seemingly is, let's push stuff down the road. It's a great way to maintain our team. It's tough to get too much better, but they still feel like even if Drew Brees is no longer there, they can be competitive next year, and so they're going for it. And to some degree, even as a Buccaneers fan, I have to respect that they're not just going to throw in the towel and start rebuilding just yet. So anyways, let's get into the film study. Let's talk about Marcus Williams, because he's a great cover 2 safety. Now, he's a good cover 1 safety, cover 3, all that stuff. But cover 2 and cover 4, which New Orleans tends to run, he just fits this system so well. And it's because there are faster safeties in the NFL than him, but he's fast enough that he can easily cover half of the field, and he's such a good tackler that when you're playing cover 2, he's one of the safeties you really want. So like on this play, it is cover 2 zone. It's a zone blitz, but still cover 2 zone. And Antonio Brown is running, well, he's supposed to be running a go route. He's going to end up cutting. This was his first game with Tampa Bay. They didn't realize he ran the wrong route. Actually, interestingly enough, of Marcus Williams' 3 interceptions last year, 2 were due to a wrong route, and 1 was due to Hail Mary. But he also had 1 called back due to penalty, so a little bit misleading. But anyways, watch what happens here. So Brady takes the snap, and Brady's going to start to throw it towards, the sideline. And Williams is doing a great job of reading this play. Again, these aren't the most difficult reads to make, but or difficult plays to make, but these are plays that a lot of guys can't make, especially a lot of really good tackling safeties. It's usually that trade-off of if you get a great tackler, he's going to struggle in this situation, but Williams doesn't struggle in these situations. As you see, he runs over, and he is going to get this interception right there. Just a really good play by Marcus Williams. So now let's show his tackling ability, because again, that's what makes him so great, is his combination of being a great cover corner along with being a great tackler and being just a great run defender in general. I keep saying tackler. What I mean is someone who can run up and make a play, and that's not always just tackling, but also making the correct read. So watch, once this play starts, you notice that Williams, he reads this play, there is a gap. Let's be honest, a lot of safeties, this is a touchdown, because they can't make this type of play. They're not, physical enough to make this type of play. But Williams, one of the things you have to love about him is he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, and he'll lower the shoulder and deliver a blow, which, it's sometimes what you have to do, and it's something that a lot of defensive backs don't love to do, but he's totally comfortable with it. And as you see, he runs in, he does make this quick tackle, and, it's a good play. It was still a good run, but, he did a good job of finishing off that play and, preventing anything disastrous to happen on that one. Okay, so now this play, we gotta talk some negatives, because there are some negatives. One negative in particular that I don't know if I really want to just blame Williams on, but New Orleans as a whole deserves some blame. This is how you've seen some of their defense get beat at times, especially deep down the field, is due to plays like this, where it's really just been communication more than talent, and communication can be so important, and there has been some poor communication at times. So the way this is going to work is you have Allen Lazard, who's currently lined up as the number 2 receiver on the top of the screen, but he's going to run over and he's going to get all the way past the safety who, if this is a deep route, should be covering in that area. Also, I made a slight error on my graphic. There should only be 3 circles in the middle of the field, but, deep is still, it's quarters coverage. So, 4 players deep, 2 safeties, 2 cornerbacks. Williams is the one who I've circled. So he's covering the one second closest to the bottom deep. And basically what you hope is that he comes in to cover a receiver. You then have Allen Lazard run deep, and now the area where Williams was is going to be completely open. And watch, once this play starts, you notice that Williams does in fact start to move in, which is, again, this, I believe, is a mistake. To me, I feel like this is a mistake, but at the same time, some defenses are different, and it really is kind of a tricky situation. It was a good job by Green Bay, but Williams, I think, should be a little bit more aware here and should be staying further deep so he can cover Lazard. Either that or your other safety has to just be aware of this, and he has to cover Lazard and stay further deep. But there needs to be this communication. So I'm not sure whose fault it is exactly. I'm not there on the sidelines. I can't tell. But clearly there's a communication failure here. Rodgers is going to make this throw, and it's a big gain. And again, that's not a talent thing. That's a communication thing. They did get a lot better at it, but there were still some errors throughout the season. Like, this one's a great example of one that just quite frankly can't happen. So it's a 3rd and 21. At this point, there's 10 minutes left in the game, but it's only a 10-point game. So, this is a big play for San Francisco. It's cover 2 zone, and they have, honestly, a concept that really shouldn't work at all. You have Marcus Williams, who is the deep safety on the bottom of the screen, and you only have one eligible receiver who's lined up as a receiver on that side of the field. So, Williams, your sole goal is don't get beat deep. This is a 3rd and 21. So, trust your guys in front of you that they can cover the 21-yard line area, and if someone runs deep, you cover the deep route. But once this play starts, you notice that Williams, he just cuts way too far to the middle of the field. Notice how he sort of shifts over in that area. Part of me wonders if this was quarters coverage. It's a little bit difficult to see, and maybe he thought the defensive back, who I've circled in black, was going to cover that guy. But either way, in my opinion, you're the safety. You're the guy who's deep. You should still be turned that way, and you should be prepared for something like that to happen. But again, it's this communication thing. They should already know, hey, if you see this, you go there, I go here. So this is a communication issue. This isn't a talent issue. This isn't Marcus Williams being dumb. This is the whole team just not being quite on the same page. As you see, there's a huge opening, but C.J. Beathard is going to underthrow this, and Williams, to his credit, does a good job of running back and, deflecting the play. And you always know a defensive back knows they screwed up when they get a pass deflection and still don't even celebrate because they're like, okay, I'm glad I got the deflection, but that was not my best play. But now I want to show this play because I want to be very clear when it comes to Marcus Williams. He is not a dumb player by any means. Very smart player, makes some really good reads. It's the communication that's been an issue for the entire New Orleans defensive back situation, and it's not horrible either. That's just the biggest way they've been beat, and I think that if they cleared that up, they'd be a much better defense, which is saying something because they were great last year. So this is the cover 2 zone. Williams is the guy who's covering the area to Mahomes' right. So towards the bottom of the screen, deep, that's where he's covering. And watch, once this play starts, this time he's making a really good read, where this time he's already cutting over towards Mahomes' left. And again, there was an eligible receiver to Mahomes' right this time, but now it seems like they've got this communication under control a bit, where he knows, hey, the defensive back in that area, he's going to cover, those guys got the people underneath. They're going to cover that. If he's running deep, I trust my teammate can cover that. I'm going to go help out because my safety, the guy who I've circled in black, he's a lot further in, and Travis Kelce can outrun guys, so he's going to try and help that area out. Williams does get over. Watch this ground he covers to eventually get this interception. That would not count because of the flag. It got called back, but a really talented play, and that's just what he can do. He can make the correct read. Again, sometimes these guys aren't 100% sure what the read is they're supposed to be making, which is a bit of an issue. To me, that's probably coaching more than anything. But when he makes the right reads, he can be fantastic. And I kind of wanted to bring up the negatives just to show how much better he could really be. He's a very talented safety, and there's no doubt about that. He's worth the money. The issue really is, can New Orleans find a way to just get under the cap in general? It's going to be a bit of an issue now, but, again, they're trying to be competitive next year. They'll worry about the year after, and you have to respect that to some degree. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.